This is the 100 item decluttering challenge. Stuff, data, worries. Everything you need to help you reinvent yourself. How's it going, reinventors? I'm Amelia. This is Reinventing You. I want to inspire you to reinvent yourself so that you can live a life of joy, fulfillment, and purpose. I normally post weekly. You're going to see a change in that this summer, but I will invite you to watch this video all the way through the end if you want to find out some updates on me and what's happening in my life. Also, you're welcome to subscribe, like, and comment at any time during this video. Now, I want to talk about decluttering 100 items in your home. I have a way that is easy. Believe it or not, it's easy to do. I know it sounds like 100 items, oh my gosh. I want to help you because decluttering can also help you in so many ways in reinventing yourself. Whether it's reinventing your, the way where you live. Maybe you're making over the room or changing your atmosphere. Maybe you're taking some steps to divorce or leave your spouse or your partner. You've got to do some decluttering there. If you are in, trying to change your career, you may have to declutter some data that you have, or if you have anything else that you're trying to reinvent, you need to declutter some of your worries, some of those concerns, some of that stuff in your head. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So we're going to break it down to 10 areas where you can declutter and easily find 100 things to get rid of. One of the first things that you have to do before you even start starting decluttering is you have got to decide where everything is going. And this is so essential in how you're going to declutter. In this example, you see in this video where I am decluttering the bathroom. Now, when I'm in the bathroom, my first instinct, of course, I don't like to just fill up the landfills. I don't like to throw things away. But when I'm in the bathroom, I say everything in the bathroom has got to be put in the garbage because to me, it's a personal area. I've been using it or I've had, dander or hair floating around or whatever, It's not like things are dirty, but it's just the bathroom. It just feels like I need to just throw this stuff away. So unless it's a container that's maybe made of plastic where it can be washed and, put in the giveaway or something, I am going to say, okay, in this room, I'm going to throw everything away. Everything I declutter in there. I start with that example because you have got to decide if you're going to give away, like if you're going to take it to a charity, which charity are you going to? Are you going to have somebody come pick it up? Go ahead and schedule it. It will get you motivated to get it done. If you have got, a particular place in mind, call ahead. Find out when is the best time to take your giveaway in. I know that we've had several months where we've had furniture from my parents, my dad's mom, all these other things that we've given away. We've given it away to different organizations. And so this time I've decided I'm not waiting around for somebody to come pick it up. I'm just carrying it someplace where I can just put it in their giveaway and be done with it. The reason that I'm decluttering right now and finding 100 things to get rid of is because we're moving in a few weeks. Now, we don't right now know what the exact date is, but the better we're ready to go when we can get things moved, we will be ready to do that. So I'm thinking in terms of I'm changing, I'm reinventing where I'm living, I'm not going to have as much storage. I've been carrying around a lot of stuff that I don't use, and that's a huge thing. You're decluttering because there's stuff that you just don't use, and why are you continue to hold on to it. It's like in a minute I'm talking about how you've got these ideas and these worries and these concerns. How do you get rid of those so that you can move on? It's the same thing with your stuff. You've got to get rid and move on. Now let's break down this. We've decided where everything's going to go. That's the first thing we need to do. So now we're going to break it down and choose 10 areas, 2 of which are going to be data and worries or concerns. But the other 8 need to be 10 physical places. And I would recommend starting with your bedroom, your kitchen, your bathroom, and your living area. So those 4 places, most of us have at least those 4 places that we can go through. Then that's, okay, so that's 2 plus 4, that's 6. You need to find 4 other places. You might find a closet if you are living in an apartment, that can be one of those. If you have a vehicle, your vehicle can be a place where you can get, let me tell you, our clutter does end up in our vehicles. Or you can find another room. Maybe you have another bedroom or another living area or a dining room. You pick the 10 areas. Remember, two of them are going to be, number 1, data, and number 2, what's up here in your head. But if you pick at least 8 more, now once you've picked those 8, in each place, you're going to get rid of 10 items. Now, the temptation is going to be, oh, I can get rid of more than 10 items. But let me stop you there, because for one thing, you need to be able to, finish the 100 clutter challenge. You're going to probably get easily distracted. So just stick to the 10 items per room. Now, the other thing that I heard in this challenge, somebody said, oh, if you're getting rid of books, say, don't take 7 books and say, I'm getting rid of 7 items. Make sure it's, 7 books is one thing. Here's an example that I have in my kitchen. I'm getting rid of these glasses. Now I have about 11 wine glasses and maybe 12 of the water glasses, iced tea glasses. And I'm going to consider the wine glasses as one item and the iced tea glasses as another. Now I could have just lumped and say, okay, that's, one item. You can decide what you're going to do with the items that you have, but just know that when you're getting rid of something, if it's a lot of one thing, you really need to make sure that's just one thing. Otherwise, you're really not doing a whole lot of decluttering. You're just getting rid of one thing or maybe 2 things in a room. So just think of that. Now, there are times when you're going to say, okay, I'm getting rid of all these dishes. Well, maybe there's 1 platter, maybe there's 1 cup, that kind of thing. But you have to make the decision on what to count as an item. But it's really recommended, if it's one of one thing or if it's something of one thing, then make that one item. And remember, you have 10 things in one room. You can do this. Now, if you're stuck and you're thinking, what are some other places in my home? I can only come up with 7, plus the brain dump, so I need at least 1 more. Here's some ideas. I mentioned the bedroom, bathroom, living area, kitchen. Maybe you have another room, like another, a living area and then a den area, or a TV room, or something like that. Maybe you have an office area. If you have a garage or basement, make that one place that you can get rid of 10 items. Also think about a closet, or if you have a storage, shed out in the backyard, or if you rent a storage area, think of that as one place that you can clean out. If you have any kind of email or texts or photos on your phone, you have data that needs to be decluttered. And when you decide to declutter, especially if it's your email, as in this example, you have got to just let it go. If you're not going to do anything with it, then you need to just, I can't tell you how many times I've read an email say, oh, I'll do that later, or I'll check that out later, and I never do. Just get rid of it. If it's something you feel like you need to save, or you might have to refer back to it, create a file on your computer, on your iPad, whatever you're using, that you can save it for a later date. It's really easy to do. You can do this in any email system that, that's out there. And don't be afraid to delete things, and don't forget to clean out your trash or your recycling bin when you're done. Okay, so we've covered the rooms, we've covered the computer and your data. Go to your email, go through it, get rid of 10 emails. Or say, okay, I'm going to get rid of, maybe a couple of people I follow on Facebook, a couple of people I follow on Instagram, and I'll consider each of that. That's 2. I'm going to get rid of these emails. That's 3. I'm going to get rid of these apps. That's 4. That's the way you do it. You get rid of data that you do not use. This is going to help you so much when you pick up your phone, when you pick up your iPad, when you turn on your computer. You don't need all of those things being thrown at you. They can be distracting, and it really can be hard to do. So when you start with your data, make sure that you go through and clean out 10 things. If you've ever taken some time to clean out your data, whether it's email or Facebook or maybe here on YouTube, let me know in the comments. One of the best things that you can do is get rid of your worries or the things that you're concerning you. And so in this portion of decluttering, once you've done everything else, and I really do recommend you wait till you've done all the physical stuff and the data stuff and do this one last, because sometimes when you declutter, you go through things and a memory will pop up or something you'll think about, or being in a particular room will bring up some memories or some thoughts or some worries. So it's really good to do the brain dump at the very end. And when I say brain dump, take a blank piece of paper and just write down everything that's on your mind. Things you're worried about, things you're concerned about. If you're a Christian, you're praying, or another faith, you're praying for something or have something that you just really are trying to do in your life. Take some time and just put all that down on paper. You're not doing anything with it, you're just getting it out there. And that's really the best first thing you can do with all of these concerns and things that happen. Now, this is going to be the hardest part. Once you get it all on paper, then you have to say, what can I get rid of? What can I declutter out of my head? Now, sometimes just getting it down on paper can help. Other times you have to kind of look at the things that you've gotten down there and say, what is really in my control that I can do something about? And then you have to say, okay, well, what can I do? What steps can I take to handle that? If there's something that's not in your control, there's nothing that you can do about it, then you have got to let it go. Now, that's easier said than done. So this is sort of the slippery slope of the decluttering challenge. But just commit in your mind to stop worrying about that, to just let whatever it is go, because there's nothing that you can do about it. So you have got to just say, okay, I'm going to reinvent my brain and stop concerning myself over this, or just constantly thinking about it. And every time it does pop up in your mind, think about, you've decluttered it, it's gone, I'm not going to worry about it again. If something does happen with something you said, I'm not going to worry about it, I'm going to let it go, and you realize there is something you can do, that's not going to harm anybody, it's not illegal, those kinds of things, then take some steps and handle it. But you have got to let those things go in your head. It's the best part of the decluttering process. So now you've done it. Have you decluttered 100 items in your home, in your data, in your head? If you have, let me know in the comments. I want to know how it went, what areas of your life or rooms in your home that you decided to declutter, or maybe how you feel afterwards that it's done. I am coming to you from this room where I started my reinventing journey. I started in here. I started recording all of my videos. Now, when I look back on my videos, I cringe because I see all the wrong things I did. And I know I'm still probably not doing, because today I didn't do any lights just because I'm moving around and it's just too crazy. But I realized how many videos that I've done right here in this space. I'm reinventing myself in terms of we are moving. So my area where I'm going to be filming is going to be changing. In fact, this summer it'll probably be not as many videos. Coming up, I'll have a video about my part-time job. I've got some video already done. I just need to edit and get it together if I have time. But this is one of the last times I will be coming to you from this space. I will probably do one last walk through the house and let you see some of the things, some of the changes and things that we've removed or decluttered already. For instance, we decluttered our fish tank. That's another story for another day. I want you to live a life of joy, fulfillment, and purpose. And sometimes you have to get rid of things in order to do that. Sometimes you have to change where you are in order to do that. And like I've said before in other videos, change is never easy. But decluttering can really help you mentally prepare or give you a boost or make you feel good about the changes that you are making. So I challenge you to the 100 item decluttering. I challenge you to declutter 100 items in your mind, in your data, and in your home. I'm Amelia. This is Reinventing You. Have a great one. I just wanted to add right here, when you are getting rid of things, and I didn't say this in the video and I should have, a lot of times it's hard to get rid of things because we think about either memories that are associated with a person, or how much money we spent in the first place on that item, or hey, if I sold this on eBay or some other place, then I'd get X amount of dollars. Well, what happens is we get caught in the loop of the thing being our loved one, and that is not the case. Sometimes there is a connection, but the best thing you can do is to pick one or maybe two items that you associate with that person and keep those and give everything away. If you really, if that's something that really meant a lot to that person, you can try to find somebody that you know who will appreciate that item and give it to them. I had a piece of silver, which I hate silver because you always have to polish it. I think it belonged to my husband's family, but it has no meaning to me, and I know his family doesn't want it. So I remember, this was years ago, somebody admiring it. And so I contacted this person and said, would you like this? She said, yes, I would love that. And I know that she's going to take care of it, and it's going to be something that she appreciates. And that makes me feel good. So if you find that you're kind of got your emotions attached to something, that's usually the best thing. Another thing is, when we think about the value of something, it's kind of like driving a car off the car lot. You and I know that once you buy a brand new vehicle and you drive it off the lot, it depreciates by a couple $1,000s at least. Once you own it, the value goes down. So sometimes we inflate what something is worth based on either what we remember paying for it or what we think we can get on the open market for it. If it's something like a used vehicle, yeah, I can see where you'd want to try to sell it. But there are so many items in our home that are just not worth anything. And they're definitely not worth hanging around your house thinking, oh, someday I'm going to get some money for it, because that day never comes. You and I both know this. Logically, we know this. And that is a part of the reinventing process, when you realize, okay, I can let go of this stuff. It was something I purchased long ago. The money's gone, and that's the thing. The money's gone. You've already spent the money. It's gone. You're not ever going to get that back. Of course, that leads me to the next thought is, from now on, we all have to make sure the things we do buy do mean something to us and are needing and are necessary in some way, or really something that brings us joy. I mean, that has got to be the biggest thing, but that's another video altogether. But what I'm saying is that when we hold on to things thinking it's going to help our memory, it's going to be, think about all the money we spent or the money we could get, it just declutters us. It kind of poisons our atmosphere. And if we want to reinvent ourselves, we have got to let that stuff go, because that is part of the reinventing process. And the more you learn to let go, the easier it is. Maybe not the easier is not the word, but the better and the stronger your journey on reinventing yourself will be. So I just thought I'd add that in the middle of all this other. Let it go. Don't worry about what you spent on it. Don't worry about what you could get for it. Just remember the good times you have with a person. And if you can give it to somebody, that would mean something to, great. If not, find a way to get rid of the item.